Hi, I'm Matthew Atkins. I'm one of the hosts from At the Movies, along with that Xander guy. Welcome to ETV Magazine. Today we're going to look at Survivor Ball, preparations for the upcoming musical, and who could forget about sports. Don't go anywhere, because all that more is happening right now.
Welcome to the second edition of ETV Magazine for the year. Let's jump right in. As the school year goes on, so does the growing concern about student vaping. The district previously filed a lawsuit against the vaping industry. The next step in the process for the district was a symposium held in October, which was designed to provide information to parents and people in the community.
Tonight's purpose is to educate our community on the dangers of vaping and also the effects it has on our students. I would love to have seen more parents. Their responses were very positive. I feel like the parents are on the verge of becoming aware but not fully educated on what devices are available, the extent to which it has spread throughout youth community. I think their questions showed that they're concerned with the topic as well as their desire to help us in educating our students. This is a really good starting point for a campaign to begin. As a school, we're in the business of education, so I think the foundation needs to start with educating all the way down through our elementaries so that they can learn those dangers early and avoid that, and then provide student support so that they can hear from people who have been through whether it's THC addiction, whether it is vaping addiction.
When the laws are broken, you have to address them and you have to take action.
Most of your senior class is at least 18 and a lot of them vape, so they don't mind buying it for you. I'm 17 years old. Most teachers won't even notice if you hit your vape in class. It's really not too hard to just stick it in your sleeve and put your hand up to your face.
We've had them to where they've been right in the middle of a classroom doing it. Yeah, they think they're being sneaky and going into a bathroom. A lot of them are still getting caught. But things get reported through the Speak Up program. I think the Speak Up program has been very beneficial. Well, some of the kids that I've had to cite say that they're already, at a very young age, they feel they're addicted. That's very concerning.
For me, it's not so much the nicotine, but it's the feeling when the smoke goes in my lungs. Like, it's just a certain feeling that I crave.
It's becoming an epidemic that I think everybody thinks it's cool, and I don't think everybody's researched it enough to find out the dangers and what harmful effects could happen later on.
This semester's blood drive was another success, with a total of 60 student and community member donors. Reporter Connor Gibson was on the scene.
EHS has a blood drive every year. They ask people to come in and donate blood for the good of the community. They have a whole group who comes in and does the operation.
My brother, he had surgery. He had 6 inches of his intestines cut out, and he used something like 10 pints of blood. So it saved his life during surgery.
It can help people stay alive in emergency situations. The effects of the blood drive are seen in our communities and others.
It's giving back to the community for those who are in need of a blood transfusion. It saves, the blood gets transferred all throughout the United States, and what's neat about it is after someone donates blood, they can actually track to see where their actual blood ends up at. It's just the kids getting involved and donating their time to the community. So it's like a community service project on my side of things, and it's neat to have kids involved with that.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Connor Gibson.
Another act of charity was demonstrated within our school recently as the food drive came to a close on November 19th with a total of $4,046 and 2,476 cans donated. Reporter Brett O'Brien has the story.
This year, the food drive was very successful. Students turned in cans to the school for donations in an effort to stop hunger across Wichita and Goddard.
So our food drive began when our building opened in 2011. Yes, the food drive has had a major impact in the 9 years our building's been opened, not counting this one yet, but we've collected over $25,000 in cash to help out the community. Okay, so 6th-hour teachers collect the food in their classrooms. They check for expiration dates. They mark everything with an X. They bring it down to the commons area outside the library. We box everything up. Someone from the district comes over, picks all of the boxes up. They deliver them to a central location from all of the schools together. They go through, sort everything back out, and put it together for the families.
EHS relies heavily on the student body to bring in money and food donations.
classes, like it depends on the student, but like a lot, like my 6 hour, I think we have like 400 cans that we need to give. Just 400 cans a lot would be a great help to people, but like put however many classes, 6 hour classes there are, and put that all together, that's a lot of work, yeah. Please do. It helps so many other people. You know, it's a great way to get involved and do charitable works. I started my freshman year. I wasn't in Stuco, but they talked about it over the intercoms, and one of my best friends, Tyler Roth, was in, and he's like, all right, Nick, you got to get on this, donate. So ever since then, I've really tried to do it.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Brett O'Brien.
This year's Buffer Week carried on the positive events in the school with the theme, Be the One. Each day was dedicated to a different activity to help students get involved and spread awareness. Reporter Katie Harrell has more.
Life of a Tiger Week is a time for acceptance and kindness throughout the student body. The first day is for kindness, where pins of encouragement were handed out. Survivor Ball was held at the end of the day on Wednesday.
Celebrate Life's a Tiger Week is obviously the theme is suicide prevention, but along with that is taking care of our students and their mental health overall. So we'll have a day to unplug and to kind of put the phones away, because a lot of bullying happens online these days, so I'm really excited about that. What we're all really excited about is Friday is Be the One to Shine. So.
Survivor Ball is where teams come together and they battle for the rights to call themselves the best in the school. It helps them not think about any stresses or struggles that they're having, even just for a little while, which is really important to us. I think it helps them just relax and put themselves out there in a really silly and funny way.
On Thursday, the school is focused on standing up against bullying by encouraging students to turn in their phones.
I know there's an assembly directly before the Survivor Ball tournament starts, and then as soon as that's over, we'll lead right into the tournament. It really kind of works well with a focus of out loud. And that's just kind of living your best life and, you know, being clear and united as Tigers and having hope for the future. Probably the biggest thing is we care. You aren't just another kid walking through or a number.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Katie Harrell.
Now, let's check out entertainment with the one and only Ethan Wild. Ethan, what's new on the entertainment scene here at EHS?
Well, for one, the biggest theatrical production of the year is now underway. Students are making preparations for the large-scale musical Grease, with the official show date set for January. This is only the beginning.
This year, Eisenhower High School has gotten the opportunity to put on the musical Grease with the help of Miss Bixler and Miss Boxa. Unlike most years in the past, they released a callback list before the cast list, and people were given another chance to audition. There are certain aspects the directors look for when casting the cast.
Judge the people in the audition pool based on how well they project their voices, how well they act the part, and how well they can sing the roles that we need to fill.
There are things the directors really look forward to for this year's production.
I look forward mostly to the amount of community building activity we do through our rehearsals.
I'm looking forward to the energy I think this musical will bring. I think it'll be a high energy show. Most people are familiar with Grease, and so I think the audience also will enjoy listening to the songs and kind of reliving that a little bit.
The cast was released the next day after the callbacks. The leads in the musical are Jacob Fossen and Hannah Armstrong as Danny and Sandy.
It was really kind of shocking to me. I was really surprised because I'd been thinking about it a lot before auditions came, and then when I looked at the cast list on Thursday, it was just amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, that's me, and I have the lead.
It's really exciting. I wasn't expecting it, and so I'm really excited because I think Sandy will challenge me a lot.
I think that the hardest part about Danny is going to be singing. My falsetto is not always the best, and I know that it's going to be a struggle for me to hit some of those high notes.
She's always very happy, I feel like, and so I feel like making sure I'm staying consistently with all of the energy she has will be difficult.
For the past few weeks, this year's cast have been practicing their songs for the upcoming musical in January. For ETV Magazine, I'm Israel Root.
All right. After weeks of practice, the jazz band performed Jazz on the Town, a concert created to help raise money for the band department and give students a chance to showcase their hard work.
Jazz on the Town is to feature our jazz band and this year our chamber string ensemble and a performance that also helps raise money for music and other needs for the instrumental program.
The jazz band, at least, has been practicing for a while now on songs that we've learned since the beginning of the school year. They're coming along pretty well. Probably the first one we play Big Noise from Winnetka, or however you pronounce it. Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. St. James Infirmary, that's always a favorite.
Oh boy, there's lots of talented people to look out for, but we got a couple great solos featured in the jazz band, so I just say come and check it out and you'll see lots of good stuff.
My favorite thing would probably have to be just how well we all get along and how well we play together. And even this is my first year in jazz band, and I can already tell it's a family.
And now, here to give their take on one of the biggest box office hits this year, Xander Nicholson and Matthew Atkins bring you At the Movies.
And finally, in a world where everyone thinks they could do my job, check out this guy.
When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
All right, welcome back to
At the Movies. We don't actually
have
got
popcorn, but got a new couch.
Hey.
We're gonna talk about Joker.
Speaking of talking, this guy over here, why do you have a mic, dude?
I mean, it looks fancy.
But
so
we're
we got
already
mics,
mic'd
but-
up. We got
all right,
mics.
fine,
What are you
trying to be fancy? Trying to be fancy. Anyway.
Anyway, if you haven't seen the movie, you've definitely seen it in memes, the makeup, or just about anything.
This movie stars Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker,
All right, he had a big role to fill, and he had to outdo the last Joker, Jared Leto.
which he did easily. His performance as the Joker is one of the best performances I've ever seen in a movie. It's awesome. It's great.
All right, enough about the actor. Let's get into the movie.
Most other Jokers, they just fall into some chemicals and then boom, they're the Joker. But this time, it's slow and dramatic.
Matt over here knows all about dramatic.
What? Why are you calling me out, dude? You're hurting my feelings, all right?
Anyway,
You're hurting my feelings. Okay.
if crazy is your thing, he's your man.
He's your man. Other comic book movies, like Marvel movies, they just kind of rely on just CGI.
But Joker, he relies on the acting ability of Joaquin Phoenix and the rest of the cast, including Robert De Niro.
Although this movie technically isn't a horror movie, it's insanely disturbing.
I mean, have you seen a man laugh, cry, and get kicked on the ground?
I mean, obviously that's insanely disturbing. It's even more disturbing when he enjoys it.
He even had a gun. Clowns don't have guns.
Clowns don't need guns. Joker also just so happens to be the highest grossing rated R movie of all time.
All right, shut up, numbers, boy.
It's
But
$1 billion,
it has beaten stuff like the Deadpools, It, and the Matrix movies.
I mean, obviously, as we just said, this movie's rated R. It's very graphic. If that's not your thing, don't see this movie. If you don't mind that stuff, see the movie. And if you love that stuff, what's wrong with that? What's wrong?
All right. We rate this movie 9 out of 10 Screaming Jokers.
This has been At the Movies.
Have a good
night.
afternoon.
Have a good afternoon. What?
Whoa, it's like afternoon.
It's not even lunch yet.
Dude, that's the point. We're going into the afternoon.
But it's nighttime.
The giant rising block of just explosion. What did I just...
And here to give you the sports report is our very own Cody O'Brien. What's the latest?
Well, Ethan, we just finished up the fall season, which makes it the perfect time to look back. The boys' soccer team remained undefeated this year during the regular season, eventually placing third at state. Their skill and chemistry on the field proved to be almost unstoppable. Reporter Jared Oberlechner takes us back to the field for a final look.
The boys soccer team had high expectations going into the season this year and lived up to them by winning 19 games over the season.
We started out kind of rough, just bonding. We really picked it up towards the end of the season. That's how we got so far.
The Tigers won the 5A regional championship by beating McPherson 7-0 in a blowout victory.
That game, we just all weren't clicking. You can ask the people in the stands. They just didn't see us really motivated, it looked like, but we switched around.
Eisenhower lost their next game against Blue Valley Southwest 3-0, which knocked the team out of the winners bracket at state. The Tigers would come back the next day and secure third place at state with a 3-2 win over Shawnee Heights, ending the Tigers' historic season.
Next year we're going to have to play a lot more direct and use our physicality more and athleticism, because this year we just had a lot of technique, so next year will be a lot more challenging to do.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jared Obleckner.
The football team made big strides this year despite a season plagued by key injuries. They continue to push through and improve, making Coach Fisher's first season a success.
I thought overall it was a good season. I wouldn't say it was a great season. Being able to have a winning record was a positive note. Finishing third in the league, I think was a good positive, and beating Goddard. We haven't had a winning regular season here at Eisenhower, so that's the first one of those. So a lot of good things that happened this year. It caused some guys to have to step up and play in some positions they probably didn't intend on at the start of the year. But it creates good opportunity, and guys had to overcome that, and being able to still win some games, with not our intended starters, really is a testament to the guys and their character and being able to overcome, and that just shows strength as them as young men.
Coach Fisher, he brought a lot of buy-in. A lot more kids were buying what he was selling, and just created more of a tight family.
He just brought a lot of heart and a lot of passion for what he does. So
I think the seniors did a great job of laying the groundwork and showing how to be successful and how to lead a team. So those younger guys had some good examples, and that's exactly what you need. And you hope that you have some juniors and some sophomores be able to step up and assume that role as leadership, because they had so many good leaders to demonstrate.
I think the team's going to do well next year. They got a lot of young guys coming back. Cody Hauser, Mason Turney, Cody Hawks, Ryan George. So a lot of good young guys are coming out. They're going to step up.
And with a lot of guys with a lot of playing experience, we return a lot of talent. So, the future looks extremely bright for our football program.
And that's a wrap for this edition of ETV Magazine. I'm Lexi Cuban.
And I'm Cody O'Brien. Make sure to follow us at Ike Sports News for the latest here at Eisenhower.
And I'm Ethan Wild. From all of us here at I Like Ike Productions and ETV Magazine, we'll see you next time.